as a fire service. We strive every day to serve the citizens of Bessemer like every one of them is our personal family. And that's how we treat them on medical calls, fires, what have you, because we treat them like our own. When I look at a little old lady, I see my mother sitting there. And so does every one of our personnel, and I'm very proud to be a part of this organization. This year's Firefighter of the Year is Evan Abbott. Evan grew up here in Bessemer on the south side on Minnesota Avenue. His parents are Gary and Rhonda Abbott, who currently call Hoover home. Evan graduated from Hoover High School in 2002, where he excelled at wrestling, and in 1 year, he won state championships in football and swimming. Two very different sports, but championships in both of them. He is married to the beautiful Lacey, and they have a 3-year-old daughter, Hamlin. It's no surprise that Evan became a firefighter. He's been an adrenaline junkie his entire life. At the age of 3, he was at a fast food restaurant with his mother, and one of the employees of the fast food restaurant told him there were monsters on the roof, just joking with a 3-year-old child. Evan slipped away from his mother, and the 3-year-old child climbed up the side of the fast food restaurant's ladder to the roof of that restaurant to see if there's any monsters down there, made his way back down and inside the restaurant, and the only way anyone knew this happened, according to the way I understand the story, is a neighboring apartment complex saw it happen and reported it. So he has been an adrenaline junkie since at least the age of 3. His mom could probably tell you it was before that. After high school, he went to Auburn University, where he stayed for a little while, and then he decided to come back, and he caught on with the volunteer fire department in Jefferson County and fell in love with the fire service. So he took the personnel board's test, and he began his career in Birmingham in 2004. After that, he worked for Rocky Ridge, Daphne Fire Department, and then here in Bessemer. He's been here in Bessemer for a total of about 4 years with 2 different stints. Bessemer Fire Department is one of the most well-trained, respected fire departments in our area. We're known for getting the job done, getting it done well. We have a department full of very well-trained, very capable firefighters and EMTs. So for you to draw attention to yourself from these highly trained, highly respected professionals says something. And Evan has done that. He has had quite a year. Let me tell you about it. We have a tobacco policy, as we should here in the city, where you cannot use tobacco inside the fire station. So our guys, if any of the guys want to go out and use tobacco, we have an area outside the building there in the parking lot. And they were all out there kind of fellowshipping, as we do between responses. And they heard glass breaking in our neighbor's business, Chancey's Automotive, up on 18th Street. And being the adrenaline junkie that most of us are, instead of running away and calling the police, they told someone else to call the police, and they went to investigate. Shortly thereafter, Evan Abbott apprehended someone breaking into Chancey's Automotive. He even held what's the proper word, suspect down until the police got there, and the police officer said, "Hey, you caught him, you might as well cuff him." So he handed Evan the handcuffs, and Evan slapped the cuffs on him. Later on in the year, he rescued a dog from a house fire on Alabama Avenue. Now, that may not sound a lot to some folks. If you're a dog lover, it sounds like a very big deal. And no offense to Miss Elliott in our press, but that story made it on the local news, the rescue of a dog. It's a joke in the fire service that if you get inside and find a human being and an animal, if you want to get on the news, save the animal. So he brought a dog out, got pictures of that, and he got on the local news websites on that one. This is not the first award that Evan has received this year. He was recognized by our police department earlier in the year. We were on a structure fire, and as you can probably imagine, inside a structure fire, it's very smoky, very difficult to see. And Evan found what he thought was some narcotics. And he quickly, it was going to be possibly destroyed, the evidence was possibly going to be destroyed by the fire, so he collected it to carry it straight to our police department. You can imagine the confusion on the police officer's face when our firefighter, Evan Abbott, handed the police officer a dirty diaper. But this is the kind of guy Evan is. Evan's the kind of guy that's going to get the job done. We recently, most of our responses here in the city of Bessemer go very routine because we do have a very highly trained, highly capable workforce. But every now and then, things do not go as planned. We had a house fire not too long ago where we had our supply line malfunctioned and we lost water supply. And Evan was walking up to me as this happened. And he looked at me and he said, "Chief, what do you need?" I said, "Evan, I need that water flow." The look on his face, if I could just have a picture and show you that, would explain exactly who Evan Abbott is. He was fully determined to get the job done. Evan is one of those that exemplifies what our purpose is. And I've been in the Bessemer Fire Department for now almost 23 years. I've loved every day of my job. And my purpose in my job is found in Matthew 25:40, when it says, "And the king will answer and said, when you did it to the least of these, you did it unto me." See, we're serving. That's what we do. And Evan exemplifies that service. After the apprehension of the suspect next door, the dog rescue, and even the recognition from our police department on a possible narcotics find, we thought for sure we had our firefighter of the year. We were done. Evan was going to be the guy. But then he topped all of it. It was on May the 22nd. I want to preface this story a little bit. I've sat and watched Evan at the fire station. As many of you probably know, we work a 24-hour on shift. It means we come in the fire station at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we don't leave until 7 o'clock the next morning. So it takes us away from our family for an entire 24 hours. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Evan has this gorgeous little 3-year-old girl named Hannah. And I've sat and watched him FaceTime this angel on his FaceTime with her, crying her eyes out, "Daddy, please come home. Daddy, please come home." It's enough to choke up the toughest of guys. And especially when your 3-year-old daughter's asking you to please come home tonight. And he had been trying to explain to her how our schedule works. Daddy will be home in the morning. You know, he would use words like, "Daddy's having a sleepover with his friends at the fire station," to try to explain it to her. So he was in an effort of trying to get through to his baby girl exactly how the job worked. So he had planned one day, a father-daughter day, where they were going to go out and just pal around, just him and her. So they were driving through the Vestavia Rocky Ridge area and come up on an apartment fire. And fire trucks are there, and Evan gets an idea. There's a perfect opportunity for me to show my little girl exactly what Daddy does for a living. So he pulls over, him and Hanley get out, they're watching the fire take place. Vestavia and Rocky Ridge, both the fire departments there, they're working. They've got firefighters inside the building, rescuing folks, putting the fire out. And it's Evan, Hanley, and there's a police officer standing there. As they're watching this take place, all of a sudden a woman appears in the second floor apartment window. And the commander on the scene for Rocky Ridge then sees this happening, and he goes to get a ladder, and he's trying to command the scene by communicating to all the personnel, and he's trying to fight this ladder to get to the woman. Well, Evan, being the man that he is, he took all he could stand. He looked at the police officer and said, "Will you hold my little girl's hand?" And in shorts and a t-shirt and tennis shoes, he goes and takes the ladder away from the commander of the scene, ladders the building, and goes up the ladder and brings this woman down out of the burning apartment. We then heard about this. We got letters from the fire chiefs of Vestavia and Rocky Ridge telling us what our fellow firefighter Evan Abbott had done. So it's like all these other things that happened the previously in the year was not enough. He had to top it off. And that woman is now walking around doing great. The dog is back on 4 legs. And our police department is very thankful for the job he's done in apprehending suspects and looking for any possible drugs that may be out there. It is my honor to present to you our Firefighter of the Year, Evan Abbott.
I'll just say a quick little thing. I just want to first and foremost thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for giving me the ability to go out there and do this job on a regular basis and do it the best that I can. I'd also like to thank my parents for just always being there for me, my wife and my beautiful little girl, Hanley, for putting up with me while I'm here at the fire station for sometimes 48 hours at a time. And I'd like to thank all the other guys at the fire department that are here supporting me and that I get to just hang out with every day. Thanks, guys. And then I just want to congratulate Officer Eubanks and Deputy Houston also on their awards that they're going to receive tonight. Thank y'all.